So I'm Alison Carpenter. I graduated December 2019, and I am currently donor relations coordinator at the Henry Ford. So besides me working at a cultural destination, the arts have had an immense impact on my life. I am a huge advocate of culture, everything culture, the arts. I grew up going to live theater shows, and I feel like arts just give a different perspective on various topics. So it's always nice to support local businesses, support the arts. I'm a huge nonprofit advocate, and just continue to have arts and culture in my life. So growing up, again, I went to see live theater shows all the time, and I fell in love with theater. I wanted to be a fundraiser for Broadway for a really long time. Things kind of shifted a little bit when I was here at Eastern, and then I just really turned to nonprofits in general with the arts focus, of course. And landed at the Henry Ford, but I've worked at the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, Public Spaces. I've also worked at the Detroit Area Agency on Aging, so very different. And now I'm here at the Henry Ford, loving it, back into the arts and culture vibes. But had a long journey, and I'm really glad that I'm at the Henry Ford, using the arts management degree every day, really. So I think it's incredibly important to be well-rounded. I think the arts management program is very unique in the sense that you get the textbook knowledge, but you also go into the world. You work with nonprofits. You go into Ypsilanti community and help nonprofits put on an art gallery, a fundraiser, help them with volunteer coordination or a marketing strategy. A lot of other programs do not offer that hands-on opportunity. So when you walk out with your degree, you're able to already have a resume built, honestly, and showcase that you already have this knowledge. And I just feel like being in the arts sector in general just makes you more well-rounded. You have those different perspectives. I just feel like the program gives you a really good lens into working in the nonprofit sector in general. So that is a great question. I had to think about it for a bit, but I remember going to Arts Advocacy Day in Washington, D.C. It was an incredible travel opportunity, and we really saw the advocacy in action. We got to talk to legislators and really let them know why arts are so important to the community and why we need to invest resources into funding the arts. And then we saw that actually happen, and that was just incredible to be there. And then I went to Lansing Arts Advocacy as well, and was a part of, making history happen, making sure we have the resources and the funding to continuously support the arts. So I started at the Henry Ford in April of 2022. So I have not been with them for too long, but I cannot wait to really continue my journey, learning more about donor relations, individual giving. I am interested in being a major gift officer down the line. I really love talking to our donors and hearing what they want to see and then actually making that happen. So hopefully down the road, I will be back at Eastern and in the role as major gift officer.
All right. So my name is Nafeesah Symonette, and currently I am the co-founder and network coordinator for arts education, advocacy, and research for a new initiative called DEA, Detroit Excellence in Youth Arts. Oh my goodness, how did they not? The arts impacted my life in every way. I discovered that I could draw at the tender age of 7. And immediately my parents decided this is something that they should nurture. And so I started my journey, in a small nonprofit in the city of Detroit called Young Artists and Company. And it was there, taking lessons where I was introduced to, all of the drawing mediums, painting, drawing, pastel, and everything. And it just really set the course for me. Watching this woman, the founder, Mrs. Joyce Ivory, who looked like me, who was brown and tall and beautiful. I thought, wow, I didn't know that there were, artists out here that looked like me who did this for a living. It was just an incredible moment for me in terms of representation. And I just wanted to be her. So I continued to pursue it and learn from her. And every turn in my career, I revert back to or recall my experience there as the reason why I'm still working within the arts and teaching in the way that she taught me. Well, I taught visual arts. I received my BFA in K-12 certification here as well. So I'm a lifelong EMU Eagle. So after receiving that and moving to the Washington, D.C. area, I taught for 13 years in Maryland and in Prince George's County. And when my family and I decided to move back to Michigan, I wondered about whether I would return to the classroom. And I decided that I didn't want to do that I wanted to pursue art and arts education in a more broad way. I wanted to find myself within leadership in the nonprofit arts world in some capacity. And in order for me to do that, I really wanted to get involved and understand the depths and the nuances that is arts administration. It's different from teaching. Coming out of the classroom is very different. So coming back home, and finding this program at Eastern, it was a no-brainer. Understanding arts management and administration is so important because, the arts are very different from, anybody in any sector will probably say the same thing about their sector, but, arts management is very nuanced in that you really have to understand the medium in which you are serving. So whether it's visual arts, whether it's theater, dance, there's so many components to that. And through the Arts Administration and Management program, you learn about all of the connected tissues within the world of arts, management, entertainment, administration. And not only that, you really learn about other organizations who did this sort of without a blueprint. They created organizations and they have managed themselves without a blueprint. And now we get the opportunity to learn from them and all the mistakes that they made. And not only do we get to learn from those, but then we also get to curate our own. And so learning how to do that through the arts management program is just essential if it is something that you want to pursue as a career goal. Oh my goodness, this is easy. The most memorable experience was our trip to DC. So we were able to do this. This was before the pandemic hit. I believe our class was like the last graduating class that was able to walk across the stage before the pandemic. And that year, I believe it was 2018-19 school year, we were able to go to DC for the Americans for the Arts Advocacy Day. And so we went to DC, and it was an opportunity to return home, if you will, for me, because I spent so much time there. So everything was familiar. Being on Capitol Hill was familiar, and places that we went visited was familiar. But the interesting thing about that, the other part to it that is so memorable is that all of these things that I was doing in DC, having been there for 15 years, I hadn't done. It wasn't until participating in this Arts Administration and Management program that I actually had to go back to this place that I had been for such a long time and then experience these things. So that's what made it so memorable. I learned so much about organizations that exist that I had no idea were, that existed. And it wasn't until coming back to Michigan that I was then able to return to DC with all this new knowledge and information.
Hi, I'm Ben Dunlap. I'm a third year here at Eastern Michigan in the Arts Management and Administration program. The arts have impacted my life all throughout it. I've been working in visual art for as long as I can remember. I learned instruments and sang and did theater all throughout school, so they both had a huge impact on me growing up. I would say the uniqueness of the program. I haven't seen anything like this at other schools in the area. Eastern was definitely the first that I had heard of. The reason that I wanted to get into arts management is that there are lots of people out there who are creatives, and I feel like after my experience in doing freelance work has taught me that I don't want to turn my passions into a full-time job. So I'd like to be able to lift other people up and be able to empower their ability to share their art with the world. I think the best experiences I've had with AMA here would be running programs with the AMP board, like Java Jam and Handmade for the Holidays. Just being in the thick of it and doing that work has been the best time that I've had. My aspirations for my career, what I want to do is either open up an art studio of my own or just like arts camp, either full year or just over the summer. I want to engage with the youth, get arts into them.